15th May 2022, remember the day. This is the day India created history in world badminton after beating Indonesia to win the Thomas Cup in Bangkok. That is right. What a huge moment for Indian badminton. What a huge moment for Indian sports. In fact, India beating Indonesia, who've been 14-time champions in the Thomas Cup. Really, the big giants of the game, India beating Indonesia today and creating history. This is the first time in the tournament's 73-year history that India have won the tournament. I have with me Abhijit Kulkarni, badminton analyst, who joins me here. Shirish Nadkarni, former badminton champion. He joins me here on this special to just look back on what has been an absolutely brilliant campaign for India. So let me introduce my panelists straight away. Abhijit and Shirish, thank you so much for joining us. What an absolutely brilliant moment for all of us to see how well India have done, and then to do it 3-0. I mean, at one point, before today's game was supposed to begin, Shirish, we were talking about, who are the players who would play for Indonesia, who will India field against, Jonathan Christie. There were all these questions, and how it was important for the singles players, for Lakshya and for Kidambi Srikanth, to win their matches, given how solid their doubles pairing was. But to win it 3-0, absolutely incredible.
Well, in the preview that I wrote for News9 yesterday, I had said that this is probably the most difficult tie to call. There could be all sorts of results. Either team could have won 3-0, or if it had gone down to the fourth match, Indonesia would have had an advantage and could have won 3-1. And if it went down to the fifth match, there was every chance that India would win 3-2. So there were so many scenarios. I found it extremely difficult to make a prediction of what the eventual score would be. But 3-0 for India was at the bottom of that grid I had made. And that is what came through. Basically, the hunger that the boys showed, the body language they showed, the aggression that they showed. I mean, I still have goosebumps after having watched all the 3 matches of the final against Indonesia.
Abhijit, we're going to talk about the significance of this moment with respect to Indian badminton, the depth that we're seeing now in men's badminton in just a bit. But let's just savor the moment itself. We saw those visuals, and we've been seeing this from the time they beat Malaysia in the quarterfinals. Shirish talked about the hunger, the will to win. But that's a team collected together in victory. And that's how they've played this tournament. One of the big reasons why they seem to have done well, would you agree? That they played like a team. There were no factions. Everybody was together. Everybody with that will to win this one. And you saw that with every match that somebody won. When Lakshya won, you saw how he reacted to the team that was supporting him from the sidelines, be it Srikanth in the earlier match, not just today. You saw a collective, you saw a team that wanted to win together.
That is the fun of team championship, right?
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of individuals winning, but when a team championship comes, automatically that rivalry factor that everybody speaks about in individual sports goes out of the window, and everybody plays like a team. And that is the fun of, like, I think I was there when we won that 2014 Uber Cup bronze medal, or the India men's team won the bronze medal in the 2016 Asian Team Championship. It was again about the camaraderie between the team, that you push each other. And these guys, while we think we are looking at this camaraderie where they are playing right now, it probably started about 10-15 days before, when they started thinking of that event. Because for the first time, though nobody was openly speaking, when you just chatted with these players, they had that feeling that they can do something special. And once that team starts feeling that you can do something special, is when that camaraderie builds very fast. That was the fun of watching these guys in action, even during training or chatting. They were thinking of doing something special at the Thomas Uber Cup. And everything came together. Like Shirish said, that when they lost to Chinese Taipei, everybody wondered whether it's possible or not. But
Okay, I think we'll just try to, the connection's not that good. We'll try to get back to, but Shirish, just carrying on from that, camaraderie is for everyone to see. And I think the whole nation's watching this with, you know, tears of joy, as I say, because you're really looking at something that not many thought was possible. Indian men's team, Indian men's players have always been in the shadows of the women's team. Isn't that so? I mean, we've seen Saina do well, we've seen PV Sindhu do well. Men have come close, but it's only recently now that we're seeing them do well on the world stage, be it then seeing both Lakshya Sen and Kidambi Srikanth in the World Championship with the silver and bronze. But to see now this whole team coming good, even the doubles pair for that matter, Shirish, of course, you've watched all these tournaments, you've followed these teams. The doubles team have come close at times on world stage, you know, so close to winning a medal and haven't been able to do it. And you saw that hunger even in the doubles team as well in Chirag and Satvik Sairaj.
Let me put it this way. I think this team is the ideal blend of ebullient youth and hoary experience, if you want me to call it that. I mean, on the one side, you have the experience of Pranoy and Srikanth, who are very close to the age of 30. And on the other side, you have the youth of people like Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy, and Lakshya Sen, who are both 20. Chirag Shetty is 24. So it is a team which is a brilliant blend of youth and experience. And it is also the officials behind them. Coach Vimal Kumar, who has to be given a lot of the credit. Matthias Bo, the Danish doubles coach, who has brought Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty up to world standards, now that they are ranked number 8 in the world. Imagine they took on a pair which was made up of one player each from the world number 1 and world number 2 combinations. Because of the injury to Marcus Gideon, they played Kevin Sanjay Sukamulio with Mohammad Ehsan, who has won every world title you can think of. Unfortunately, doubles is such a game that you can't play it with the absolute optimum level of understanding. And the lack of understanding between these two could be seen from the fact that Kevin was forced to cover more of the court because Ehsan is the older man, and they left gaps which were brilliantly exploited by Chirag Shetty at the net and from Satvik from behind on the court. So I want to say that the background staff, the support staff has to be given equal credit for this amazing win.
Absolutely.
It could not have been done with them, without them.
Yeah. And it's wonderful to see as well. Vimal Kumar is just about, you know, it's been years you've seen him put in the hard yards. He's been coaching the players. There's a soft gentleman we've had on various occasions spoken to him. He talks passionately about the game. He's even spoken about, you know, his dream of at one point winning the Thomas Cup and how important it would be for the Indian team. And then to have this come true, it couldn't have happened to a better man as the coach of this team. So hats off to, like you said, to the support staff. But Abhijit is back. Before I come to Abhijit, let's also listen into what the fans were saying after this win.
What a match! History in the making. Yay, India!
Super first time win, reaching finals and 3-0. Amazing.
Inqulab Zindabad! We are actually so much excited. We have come all the way from India. It was a one-week trip for us, but we couldn't have had a perfect ending. And we were all next level excited, seeing 3-0 winning a team that has won 14 consecutive times, and India entering into the finals after 43 long years, first time and clinching the title. It was like one hell of an experience for all of us, and this will be etched in our memory forever. Thank you so much.
This was also a once-in-a-lifetime moment for them. This is one of those I was there moment. They are never going to be able to forget it. And incredible to be there, because at one point, Shirish, when you when they won against Malaysia, you said, wow, medal assured. Even if they went on to lose from there on, you'd say, great performance. But then to go and beat Denmark, where you're beating players like, Antonsen, then you go on and beat Indonesia, who know in every way how to win this game.
It is a sobering thought that both India and Indonesia could have lost in the semifinals, because in the doubles matches, the scores were level at 20 all in the third game in both the first doubles of India as well as the first doubles of Indonesia. And India went on to win that doubles through Satvik Sairaj and Chirag Shetty, and Indonesia went on to win through Ehsan and Sukamulyo. The point is, it could so easily have been reverse.
Yeah.
And in that case, it could have been Denmark versus Japan in the final, because it would not have gone down to the last match. It would have been finished by the fourth match. It would have been a 3-1, 3-1 win for Japan as well as for Denmark. Fortunately, our guys, they had the hunger, they kept their cool, they had a little bit of luck on their side, and they went on to win. I mean, this is an absolute wow moment. I have been a badminton player all my life. I'm now a hoary 72. But I have seen Prakash Padukone win at the 1980 All England Championships. I have seen Gopi Chand in person win at the 2001 All England Championships.
Wow.
Those were fabulous moments. But today's moment, okay, I was not in Bangkok, but I was glued to the TV screen all the way. And this is probably the greatest moment in my association with badminton.
Wow, this is incredible. Those are incredible scenes, as we've been saying, but also what is the significance of this with respect to Indian badminton? Now we'll talk about that. But Abhijit, just looking back at how this tournament panned out for India, the road for this Indian team all the way to the finals and then winning it. We're just going to put the results there. But clean victories in the first against the first two teams. From there on, like Shirish also said, lost to Chinese Taipei. Germany, Canada, 5-0, 5-0, no problems there. Chinese Taipei, you lose, and you suddenly wonder, wow, can they do it? Then in the quarterfinals, you beat Malaysia, which is a huge task. From there on, what was it that you were thinking about this Indian team? Because like I was talking to Shirish, I mean, a lot of people would have been happy with India just being assured of a medal, but then to go and win the gold.
Yeah, so like we said, no, everybody was thinking of a medal this time. Just reaching the semi-final assures you of a medal. So in a way, they knew, irrespective of whether they win against Chinese Taipei or not, they are going to get to play that quarterfinal. So they needed to win one match. But after that Malaysia match, I think the team also started talking about, oh wow, we can actually do this again. So because what happens is, if you see the history of Indian badminton, we had some fantastic singles players. Shirish sir would accept that. Then Prakash sir would play doubles also. Gopi Chand would play doubles in a Thomas Cup. And so what used to happen is, you are dependent on those three singles players to win you matches. Now with Chirag Satvik coming in, you knew that one of your single player can fail and still you have a chance of scoring those 3 points. And so when against Denmark, because Antonsen was not in one of his best forms, you always knew that Srikanth had a chance. And Prannoy was always going to be the better player against Rasmus. So the only thing that they really needed was one win from the first two matches. And I think the minute Satvik Chirag could do that after dropping 5 match points, which was crazy something here. But once they did that, I think the team believed that they can go to the final.
I've got to also ask you about Kidambi Srikanth and his resurrection in a way. Just to see him play like that, we all watched him in 2017 and said, wow, how good is he a player? And you expected him to do much better. And then somewhere with injuries and him being inconsistent, Shirish, his career didn't pan out like how he would have wanted. But now, since the World Championship, you see a different Kidambi Srikanth. What do you attribute that to?
I think that performance in the World Championships in Huelva, Spain, has been perhaps a turning point, recent turning point in his career. Because in the period before that, he was inconsistent. He used to win good matches. He used to lose to some of the easiest players. But remember, he was world number one for 1 week, April 12th to April 17th, 2018, when Axelsen didn't play one particular tournament and dropped that number of points. So in the moving annual total, he fell just a little bit below Srikanth, allowing Srikanth to be world number one. The fact is, Srikanth did become world number one. He was the best player in the world for at least a week. Now, thereafter, unfortunately, his performance just went on going down, down, down. And then during the 2 COVID years, he didn't get too much of an opportunity to show his mettle. There were also accusations that he's become a little complacent, maybe self-satisfied with whatever he's achieved in the past.
Yes.
He's not pushing himself during the practice and training sessions. All this, I don't know, Abhijit will bear me out on this. If he could have pushed himself more in the training sessions, maybe it would not have come to a point where he had to wait until December 2021 to resurrect himself. But now, definitely, he is a resurrected player. He is playing with so much of heart. He's playing with excellent temperament. His court craft is good. He's recovered that the leap smash, especially to the forehand sideline, and occasionally across court. And he is a very difficult player to play against because he controls the net. He reaches the net a split second earlier than most of his opponents and controls the net very well. And as anybody will tell you, singles is won at the net. If you can be in control of the net, you can be in control of the rally, and thereafter there's no problem for you.
There's also the other thing, Shirish, that not only did they do well, they beat some of the higher ranked players. And, you know, you saw that from the time they won against Malaysia, then, you know, winning against Denmark. Abhijit, come in on this one. And then, of course, against Indonesia. Played with a lot of heart, but at times when you had to dig deep to find that win, they got that. Abhijit?
Yeah. See, if you look at the rankings,
okay.
Jonathan Christie was ranked number 8. Anthony Ginting was ranked number 5. Our highest rank was Lakshya Sen at 9, Srikanth at 11, and then Pranay at 23, whereas Rustavito of Indonesia was at 24. So there was nothing to choose between the two in the last, the third singles. But in the first 2 singles, definitely we were the underdogs. And in the doubles, we were the huge underdogs because we are Satvik and Chirag are number 8. Whereas Kevin Sukumulya is world number 1 with Marcus, and Ehsan and Setia 1 were world number 2. So a pair which comprises 1 player each from the world number 1 and world number 2 ranks. I mean, on paper, they should be unbeatable.
Yeah.
So if we have been able to beat them, it is only because of, I don't know, tremendous self-belief that we can do it. I mean, we have done it against Malaysia. Okay, now let's do it against Denmark. Having done it against Denmark, then what the hell is stopping us from winning the Thomas Cup? That seems to have been at the back of their minds as they went forward. And I mean, it's literally goosebump praising.
Yeah.
Stuff. What do you say, Abhijit?
Yeah, it is goosebump praising. Like somehow I've been at the World Championship when Sindhu was playing, but that team event, that kick that you get when a team wins is completely different than, because it's somehow, yes, you are supporting an individual, but when you are supporting a team, watching a team perform, it's a completely different feeling. And we have experienced that in cricket. Now we are experiencing that something in badminton, and it's something different. Like, I don't know, you can't explain the difference between winning a singles match and a team event, but that team event gives you a very different feeling.
Is it because now as a team, because you've seen who are the teams, Abhijit, who are right at the top of this? I mean, you have Indonesia, you have China, you have Malaysia. These are giants in world badminton as nations. Is that the feeling as well? That suddenly you win Thomas Cup, it's not about 1 or 2 individuals who've done well on the international circuit, but India as a nation has done well. And that just goes on to show us becoming a superpower in badminton, in men's badminton, which we'd not seen so far.
Yeah, I think we have not been a world power even in women's badminton. We had two players who have been exceptionally good.
Yeah.
But when you want to become a superpower, I think you have to be consistently winning medals in these big events. Like you see the list you are showing
Yeah.
Indonesia, China, Malaysia. Even Denmark has one title, but they have many medals as bronze medals or silver medals. You have to be consistent as a team. And if you see a Chinese team or an Indonesian team, even if their top players are not there, they have that second bench strength who is still playing. We have some time to go, but I still think our men will reach there earlier than the women because we have a bunch of 6, 7 singles players who can take up that mantle. And now we have a bunch, at least 4 doubles players who are improving, 3 more who can support Chirag and Satvik. So next few years, I think would be a golden period for us where we have a team that can always be looked at as a potential medal prospect in team events.
Okay, we talked about Kidambi Srikanth specifically. We also, Shirish, want to talk about Lakshya Sen. Now, you talked of the doubles pairing and how important it was for India to win the doubles, especially given, you know, how good Sanjaya Sukamulu and Mohammad Hassan were. One is ranked, I think, 1 and the other 2 in the world in doubles. How important was Lakshya to win that first game, given that he'd been struggling throughout?
I'll say a few things about Lakshya's form in this particular event. I have been in touch with Vimal Kumar constantly since they went to Bangkok, and I've also been following Lakshya's progress in the last couple of years at the Padukone Dravid Center of Excellence. Lakshya had a serious stomach upset on the eve of their departure to Bangkok. So he wasn't feeling good. You know, a lot of fluids had left his system through the wrong channels, let's say. And he was not at the top of his game, so to say. And that reflected on his performances in the group stage as well as in the quarterfinal and semi-final, where against Lee Zijia, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, Lakshya has always had an aggressive bent of mind. He hits and runs, hits and runs. He was preferring to defend more than hit during the quarterfinals and semifinals. And that is because he was not feeling the full 100%. He wasn't feeling as strong as he would have liked to have felt. But on the eve of the final, he went and told Vimal, sir, I am feeling good. I'll try and my best to knock off Ginting. And remember, 2 months ago, in the only match that they have ever played before, Lakshya had beaten Ginting 21-7, 21-9 in the German Open. That was a phenomenal, performance. So today he replicated that. He came back from a very bad first game where he had to play in the wrong direction of the wind. He was touching the shuttle and it was going out. So he lost it at 21-8. But he rectified that in the second game. His defense was impeccable today. He took some absolutely unbelievable shots, got them back. And that really threw Ginting off balance because Ginting is one of the fastest players in the world. And he follows up very quickly on to the net behind his smash. So Lakshya was able to block in such a way that the shuttle never rose too much above the net. Technically speaking, that made Ginting worry whether he should dribble or whether he should flick. And Lakshya did not lose control of the rallies in the second and third games, most of the second and third games. That's as far as Lakshya is concerned. If you talk about Chirag and Satvik, they are absolutely world class. They are on par with any of the world's top 7, 8 combinations. They are number 8. But any of the top combinations above them, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Indonesians, they are on par with them. Their only problem has been an inability to close out matches.
Yeah.
They are leading 2015 and they lose 22-20. They are leading 2018 and they lose 23-21. Today, they managed to hold out to win. Semi-finals also, they managed to hold out to win. Today, they were down 3 match points. And I would say one Indonesian player did a big ehsan for us, if I may say so. At
Well
21-17,
well done,
at
Shirish.
2017, Ehsan had an absolute dolly at the net to put away, and he muffed it up. And from there, Chirag and Satvik got the upper hand, and they never relinquished it thereafter.
Okay. Okay, so from Ehsan to let's shift to HS Pranoy. Again, the lowest ranked in the singles, Abhijit, but two very crucial matches and two pressure cooker matches, matches that you had to win. And injured, fell down, needed medical help. But those two wins for HS Pranoy and for the Indian team, how good were they?
If you speak to any of the coaches in the Indian setup, they'll tell you that if you are in a pressure cooker situation, you will put all your money on Pranoy rather than any of these players. So in a way, I think when Shirish was speaking about Lakshya Sen, no, I think that is where the team effort came in. Lakshya, with his health, could have said that I don't want to play that first singles. I would take a break. I will take a rest. But that would have exposed Pranoy to a second best player rather than the third best player. So, like on a social media, I heard a lot of people criticizing Lakshya for the way he played. But Lakshya actually played that match, allowing India to let the next two players play against an opponent which they could beat. So I think we need to give Lakshya that credit to put his hand up and say, okay, I'll keep playing even if I'm not feeling well because it's in the interest of the team. Pranoy, on the other hand, has always been called the beast because he can bulldoze opponents. When he is in a right frame of mind, Pranoy is fearless. And it helped him that there was a pressure cooker situation. He could just go all out and be aggressive. And to his credit, his opponents probably felt more pressure than him. He handled it well and pulled off those matches.
Okay, now, gentlemen, the significance of this for Indian badminton. Shirish, I'll give you, we don't have much time left, but we begin with you. The significance of this win for India.
What can I say? I mean, Indian badminton has been resurrected and rejuvenated mainly by Gopichand's efforts since 2010 with Saina Nehwal and then subsequently with Srikanth, Pranoy, the entire lot at the Gopichand Academy, plus Sindhu after all that. So Indian badminton over the last decade and 2 years, 12 years, has been in good hands. But Gopi has now moved out of coaching and gone into administration. So he's become the vice president of the Badminton Association of India, leaving Vimal Kumar to do the bulk of the national coaching. And in my opinion, I think from the point of view of the Indian environment, this could hardly have been a better decision. I think it's a very good decision. Gopi can do a lot sitting at the administrative level to ensure that players get a fair deal. Whereas Vimal, who is an outstanding coach, so was Gopi. I'm not saying anything against Gopi on that. But now Vimal has a free hand to handle all the wards of both the academies, the national level players, as he thinks fit. So this, for me, is equivalent to what has happened in Japan. 10 years ago, Park Ju-bong of South Korea moved to Japan and started training their national teams, both for the Thomas Cup and the Yuba Cup. And you saw the results. Yeah. You had people like Momota, you had people like Okuhara, Yamaguchi, Takahashi, all fabulous players, very, very good players, and also the doubles players. Yuta Watanabe, for example, is an outstanding doubles player, a left-hander who is among the top 2 doubles players in the world, in my opinion. So, what happened to Japan because of Park Ju-bong's movement there is perhaps scheduled to happen to Indian badminton with Vimal taking over the reins of coaching all India. My opinion.
Okay, Abhijit?
I won't get so technical. Shirish sir is very experienced about that. But I think if I'm looking at it from an analogy of going into space, the first propellant is what Saina Nehwal's 2010 Commonwealth Games was, that the spacecraft took off. I think a team championship win like a Thomas Cup could actually be that next step where you get out of that gravitational force and you go into an automatic orbit. If we can get into that orbit and make a lot more players, I think this win will really help India.
I like the way, Abhijit, you said Shirish sir is too technical, so I'll take it my way, and you made it even more scientific and technical, comparing it to a rocket launch. But whatever it might be, if it is a rocket launch, then hope that we see Indian badminton in space soon enough. As a team, as a nation, we've already seen it. We've seen individuals go out there and do well, but as a team, as a nation, can India be right there at the top of world badminton? That's the next question now. This has given us hope. This has also given us this opportunity now to build from here on. But Shirish Nadkarni, thank you so much. Abhijit Kulkarni as well for joining us here. Congratulations to this Indian team. They deserve everything that comes their way. They've been phenomenal in this tournament and winning it in style. We leave you with the visuals of the team's celebration. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.